Hi, good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Lisa in Tampa, connecting to you daily during this COVID-19 pandemic to bring some science, some light, share my tips, and end with a healing affirmation. So today I wanted to talk about herd immunity, which seems to kind of be the big topic all over the news right now, it's an interesting one to contemplate. So first of all, what does it mean? I find it comical. It's like I don't know what kind of herd we are, sheep, cows, I don't know, funny name, but it just means exactly that, which is when we're all together, pushed together in a herd, you can become immune, and certain diseases throughout the history of time will actually die off. So what happens is that these infections, viruses, bacteria, they need hosts to perpetuate the cycle of the infection. And when enough people have actually been infected, and our bodies are incredible because, again, we make these B lymphocytes that are a type of white cell that turn into antibodies, which are soldiers that go after these infections, then the virus cannot take hold. So there are two ways predominantly to get rid of viruses in this manner of herd immunity. One is vaccination. So throughout time, that is how we've gotten rid of certain diseases like smallpox. And then it just kind of is gone and we don't have to even vaccinate for it again. And then the other is exposure. So if enough people were to get exposed to COVID-19, get the disease and develop antibodies in response, then the disease should stop in its tracks. That's the concept behind herd immunity. There are several issues with it related to this current pandemic. One of which is when you look at herd immunity and what percentage of the population would need to be infected, it is incredibly high. So there are diseases in the past that could be as low as maybe 40% and they would die off. This virus, we believe, is much higher. Measles, for example, I think is 80 to 95% of the population has to have been exposed or develop immunity or have had a vaccine. So to get us to a place where 80 or 90% of our population has been exposed to COVID-19 is going to take time and potentially be very taxing to the healthcare system, which is, again, why we've had the opposite of herd immunity, which has been social distancing. I do find it interesting, again, that now we're talking about bringing not social distancing, but bringing people together enough to get the disease. And so I am not by any means promoting you do that. It's not safe at this time. We don't understand the disease well enough. We don't have enough capacity to treat it to just tell people to go out and get exposed. But that's when you hear people talking about herd immunity, I wanted you guys to be educated on what it is, what it means. Vaccines, a vaccine for this particular virus is very much some time away, like a year, 18 months, even longer, although certain people are trying to push it through faster. We won't have safety stats, and we don't know how much this virus is going to shift over time. And so therefore the efficacy may be very low, kind of like the flu vaccine, which changes, or is it much, 30%. So I think we don't have the answers. This was more of an educational moment for me to share with you guys and to tap into the concept that we're all connected. So how incredible is it that a disease can just die out when people are connected or when people have built up the strength to have the immunity against this? And it made me think about a video that I was sharing with a colleague the other day. About the connection inside of our own body. So what I wanted to talk briefly about was fascia. Fascia is the thin layer that surrounds our muscles and our organs, and we've always sort of thought of it as almost like saran wrap. When you're in med school and doing dissections, it's kind of the stuff you just got to get through to be able to see all the cool stuff. And it turns out that now we're understanding this fascia is actually truly incredible, and it's alive in and of its own right. A colleague of mine wrote a book called Koche. I recommend you check it out. It's about hydration. But one of the points that she talks about is how the fascia is actually an irrigation system. So it's pumping water to all of our organs in addition to potentially electricity, electrons. Some people even think consciousness, which is, goes into the spiritual side of disease, which I'm very tapped into. So there's a video I would love for you guys to check out. I think you might have the time. It's short anyway, 5 or 6 minutes, called Living Fascia. It's on YouTube. So if you just search Living Fascia, if you have any trouble finding it, leave me a message below and I'll put the link. And you can actually watch, they're in surgery and they have somebody's forearm open. And you can watch the fascia at the microscopic level, but blown up, pushing water through its web of connection. So we're all connected, even down to the levels that we never knew we were. I'll leave you today with an affirmation. I hope this information was helpful. I hope you guys are enjoying these daily shares, and please feel free to forward them, post them. I would appreciate that so much. It will keep me going. And we will end by saying this. I allow myself to fully connect into a web of love. We all know love is the highest frequency. It's the opposite of fear. We're all shifting from fear to love during this time. That's at least my wish for you. So keep working on that. And again, repeat with me. I allow myself to fully connect into a web of love. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining me. See you here tomorrow. Take care.